And it's kind of like, you know, he at the age where he's trying to express himself vocally, but he can't, and he get frustrated.
Yeah.
So if it's just not, if he's not getting what he's getting, then it's just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna cry until somebody to figure it out. You know?
Right.
Yeah. Would you say
What's good, fellas?
Chilling, man.
Yeah, bro. Chilling.
Out what's going on at the spot at his job and shit. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been a hell of a few weeks, huh?
Crazy. Yeah, so like I was saying that we got a coming up, I guess we got some kind of town hall or whatever, and they're supposed to be like addressing it, like using all day to address what's happening right now in the country. And
all day?
So,
all day? Come on, man.
It's like bro, it's supposed to be a 4 or 5 hour thing, bro. It's crazy.
Yo, that's a long time.
Yeah, bro. So here's the thing. So there's a collective
issue, but I hear you though.
Are you recording?
Yeah, just so I don't forget when we start.
Got you. So there's a collective of people that look like us. We basically had a conversation about it and like how we wanted to approach this meeting. So we figured, do we put together a list of items, some actionable items that we would like to see in leadership or at the top of the agency to respond to. So, you know, that's the conversation. And I was like, yo, this whole situation was some BS, bro. But you know, it's an opportunity for people to be heard, I guess. So there's a collective of items. We got a list of shit. We put it together. And then, so we're just trying to figure out the date of this meeting. Do we just hand it over and jump off? Do we join the entire meeting, or do we just protest and not join at all? So,
yeah, that's tricky, man. And I get it, because it's kind of like you're not there to try to teach people. Yet at the same time, it's kind of like somebody got to monitor whatever action items that are put out there. It's tricky, bro. And at the same time, you still got to survive and be Black in America, right?
Right.
You still got to get home, you know?
But yo, Rose, when you get a chance, can you send me that list? Because I think it would be good for other agencies to align on stuff that we want. Because my agency, like I told you, I did something similar. And basically they had a bunch of emails, and they did this thing called a circles group, where they were people can express how they feel and how things are going. And I think the one good thing that came out of that group was that, you know, people got to express how they feel and say, you know, what's going on. But the whole idea behind the thing was that no actionable items was going to come out of it. There was no next steps. It was just really a grieving session. And in my head, I went to support other people because I feel like it's bullshit. I went to support
right.
people. And I was just like, yo, how can you have, first of all, how are you going to make the session first, put all the Black people first? And then two, how are you going to have I get it. All right, this isn't the time or place to make actionable items. But I think just with the protests, I mean, I'm not really out there like that. But what you doing and what we doing, this is how we put our foot on their necks and all right. Here's some actionable items. Here's some stuff y'all could start doing to next week. And we don't even got to be in the office to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Because same thing happened with that Juneteenth. I told you my job, gave us the day off. So what I did was, actually, I don't think I told y'all this, but same thing like you. I'm in a collective like you on my Nat Turner shit. And I was like, yo, I think we should put a list of links and items to educate people, because I don't want people to have the day off and then they just be like, all right, I got the day off, fuck it, I don't know what this holiday about, but I'm out. And
right.
and it literally took 5 minutes. A couple people sent links. I put a Excel together, and I sent it to the executive team leadership. I was like, yo, can y'all send this out? Don't shout me out, because I don't need y'all saying the Black collective or people put it together. Just be like, hey, here's some educational links. There's literally simple yo, here's 12 things about Juneteenth, articles, podcasts, and the episode of Atlanta. I put not the whole episode, but I put a link to the episode, simple stuff. And
right.
Like it's like I'm not trying
but
I'm trying to do small stuff to like be like, yo, like I can't just let this day pass and be like on some like whatever.
But bro, like it sucks that you even got to do that. Like it sucks. Like it sucks that you got to do that. It sucks that you have to educate people to make all of this shit is, in my opinion, is just making them feel comfortable, right? So it's like, it's a situation now that they feel like the country's kicking up dust. The country is,
it's fucking up the money
in the street. Yeah. So now it's
fucking
like,
up the money.
Shit, we gotta do exactly. So now we got to do something.
It's a box they gotta check because now everybody gotta be like, all right, are we this is a hot item now. Are we doing this? Are we doing that? I ain't want to say this, and I might take this out the recording, but like, I was thinking the other day, I was like, yo, this is just like last year when the Me Too movement was going on, and everybody was we need women, we need this, we need that, and that. And now, like, I'm not saying they're not doing anything, but I don't hear, like, I'm not saying this ain't an all lives matter situation, but
no,
I'm just like, yo, like, I don't hear nothing about, like, all right, we need more women here, and we need to help the people of color here. Like, I don't hear that. Like, it's just hot.
Bro, let me tell you one thing. If I join this Zoom call next week, and I see fucking people higher ups with like kente cloths on and kufis on and shit, bro, I'm shutting everything down, bro. I'm shutting everything down. I mean,
it's like you don't have to do that, right? It's like, yo, like your actions of what you do from a policy / I don't know, like philanthropic point of view is way much more important than you wearing some kente clothes. I don't even wear kente clothes.
Right, like that's it. But that's the point, right? It's like over the top. Like you are so disconnected that you don't even know that shit is offensive, and that's the problem. Like,
well, AD, you got a point there. Like when it's all about policy, because I mean, without putting too much info out there, I got someone sent an idea in the office about this other podcast I produced, and they were like, yo, we should donate. Rose, I told you about this kind of high level, but they were like, we should donate the time to Black creatives who have a podcast, and then in my head I'm just like, all right, that sounds cool, but that's just short term. And then the way it was written too, it was written by a white girl, and she was like, oh, it's like the white CEO donates his time to Black creatives. And in my head, I was like, yo, that's
what that's gonna do?
Anything.
And that shit is offensive.
You're not helping nothing. You just giving like free airtime that like.
Yeah, that's lunch. Like, I don't do shit. I don't know, man. I just do think. I think overall, like, you got all these individual groups outside the Black community wanting to help. I think, okay, solidarity, cool, whatever, right? Solidarity is always a moment in time. I just think now, if we're going to have these moments in times, certain particular groups in our broader community need to have a list of demands, right? If you don't have a real list saying, hey, these are the things I want changed, that we want changed, then it's like these other groups are going to make up that list for you, and it's going to be completely out of context. It's not going to be relevant to anything that you may actually have some affinity to, and it can just come off as goofy, right? So I just think now, man, we as a people, and I get it, we're not a monolith because there are multiple, communities even within the Black experience, right? Just need to now have these lists of demands, like straight up, man. And look, as I told, I was talking to Nicole, she's going through the same thing. Like, I mean, everybody out here that's in any industry is going through the same thing, right? Like a lot of these so-called white tears or the solidarity, or all of a sudden you're getting a lot of followers on Instagram. Cool. I just feel like if this is a moment in time, then make this about the economics. If you're getting 10,000 new followers, tell 10,000 new followers go buy whatever you sell. Right. If you are at a company and they're asking you for like some type of be a part of change or help guide change, then make it where it's about either getting people hired or getting people moved up the funnel. Or if it's kind of like, these cats want to change something cultural about, as an example, these agencies want to change culturally. It's like, yeah, that's cool about the culture, but what about the overall, like, talent, right? What about the opportunities? Like, I just think we should have these lists of demands and make this real about the economics of it all, right? And changing some of the policies, right? Like, at the end of the day, politicians wearing kente cloth doesn't change the fact that there are individuals in police departments across this country randomly killing unarmed black men. Like, that's changing anything. So unless we change the policy, none of this shit means nothing, you know?
I feel you on that.
Yeah,
policy and money, bro. Policy and the money.
That's why I was telling him in my chat, in my group of, you know, black people at work, I was like, yo, all they gotta do, like, we don't even need to be on this call. All they need to do is cut the check and help out people at the job or hire more black people. Like, it's not even that serious. Like, but I would say the one reason I was glad I joined is because, like I told y'all in the chat, I'm glad. Again, I say this to you guys, to your face. I appreciate you too, and you know the rest of the chat, because I realize a lot of people don't have people they could talk to.
Nope.
A lot of people don't have people they could be like, yo, this is how I feel. Fuck this. That is how America's fuck. Like, a lot of people need therapists and they don't have it. And I'm looking like, you know what? I'm blessed because I got a group of guys who literally understand exactly how I feel, literally may have gone through or going through the same thing. And, you know, I just appreciate y'all, brothers.
Same to you too, bro.
Yeah, bro. Feeling mutual, bro.
Oh, man,
yeah.
But like, just want to introduce everybody so I could cut that in somehow. You know, your boy.
I'm recording on my end too.
Oh, appreciate that. You know, it's Tony Stallion here. Chopping it up. Ad Bro, your friendly Ad Bro. We got who we got on the mic today?
Yo, this your boy AD, by way of Atlanta here in New York City, Brooklyn, New York City. Grady baby doing my thing with the Ad Bros, chopping it up during this weird moment in time. But yeah, we get there.
Easy Rose, man. 2 words: United States. No love, no breaks. But we'll figure it out, man.
2 words, most definitely.
2 words, exactly.
The old Kanye.
Oh yeah. But yo, y'all touched on something that was actually a subject I want to like kind of quickly get into, and then we could move on. Is allyship. So like, you know, as black men in marketing, advertising, how would you guys see allyship from groups that are outside of us? What would y'all want? Well, if people aren't doing it right, what would y'all say would be like the way what we need to do to help us out?
Well, I mean, me as a creative in you know, I guess, you know, now going between advertising and tech, I always talk about like what are the career opportunities for people who want to get into the field, because a lot of us don't know nothing about it, as well as where are the other opportunities to move talent that's already there up the funnel. Like after a while, you just can't stay art director in your 40s, right? Are you helping to career track talent in the game, or a producer, or a person who buys media, or an account person, or like a talent scout, right? Like, when you get us in the game, right? Are you helping these individuals move up the funnel? Because I've seen it. I've seen guys either my age or younger actually leapfrog me in terms of rank because they're white guys, right? Or they're white chicks. So yeah, I just think, man, cats really want to talk about this solidarity, equality shit. Then they need to really think about like, hey, you know, diversity is more than just getting people in the door. It's about really career tracking people and seeing that they actually put their best foot forward, and that we're there to help them do that, right? And we give them the space to grow, right? A lot of times we got to come in the door being magical fucking unicorns, right? We can't make a mistake. We got to be good. We can't be too good because you make somebody feel uncomfortable, right? And you got to make sure that they feel comfortable being around you, all the while you're just trying to get back and forth from work and not get shot by the police or by people who look like you or a police who look like you, right? So it's just like, that's a lot of shit to deal with, man, on top of systemic racism and just being black with like health issues. And then we forget, we're still dealing with a fucking pandemic. So yeah, it's kind of like, you know, if nothing else, just take the burden off motherfuckers' backs by helping them move up in the funnel. That's what I'm looking for right now. It's like, if y'all guys really want to talk, you know, put your money in your mouth is, you know, actually supporting and really help people career tracking these industries, man. I know Anta Wintour, right? She's going through her shit right now because she's talking all that shit, but I'm sure it's been very few motherfuckers she's actually helped out, right?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. And that's a so-called liberal
And
create a feel.
and she's doing it on her way out. Like, I mean, I heard it from the Joe Budden podcast, but like, she's retiring, but she's saying all this like, "Yo, we could have did better. I want to help, blah blah blah." But she on her way out the door, so she.
Yeah.
How can you help? Who can you help? Rose, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I think that was really well said on AD's part. I think, I second a lot of what he said, and it's just like the advocacy part though too. So it's like, when you come into this game and you got to build these relationships, and a lot of people, like, they want you to gravitate to them and kiss their ass. Meanwhile, you're doing the work and you're trying to, per what AD said, like, still be like a Black person in this industry. There's not a lot of people, like, you're a small percentage of the population of people in the industry, right? So like, you're juggling all these different things, right? I think that if we could, number one, just, figure out what's the advocacy programs, like because like right now, like I'm more so care about the younger people coming into this game. Like when I came in, I didn't even know about this shit. Like I didn't even know you can make money doing this shit for media, right?
Right.
It wasn't like, I went to school for business and finance. I took some marketing classes, but I just didn't know we could get it popping like this. So I think if we have some programs that's just pulling in young, talented people and just introducing it to them, put some money behind it and go into some of these communities that you're probably afraid of, but pay the people that look like us who's not afraid, and we could go and figure that thing out and try to try to get more young people to gravitate to the industry, just to introduce them to this early on, right? So like,
right.
I mean, end of the day, put your money where your mouth is. But, secondly, it's just like that advocacy part. If we could kind of fine tune some of that and try to break some of the, the bullshit and the bullshit politics that's associated with that. Oh, well, AD, he kind of stays to himself. So, he does his work, but he stays to himself. No, like, go have that conversation with AD. Go see how he feels. The thing is, none of these people, like a lot of them, they have this privilege. They never had to care about what I thought about, what you think about, Tony, what AD thinks about, because everything, they live in a fucking bubble where everything just gravitates to them. So it's like, of course you're not going to know why shit is the way it is. Of course, I'm going to be more well-versed than you in issues like this. Like, so, I mean, I'll leave it with that.
All right. What do y'all think about fake allyship? So like, brands like the NFL putting up the black square,
NFL, huh?
Music companies kind of saying like, "Oh, we're gonna do this, this, and that." Meanwhile, the money they're donating is basically is money from Black artists that they just like,
steal from.
Basically steal from. Even like some advertising agencies out there that's saying like, oh, we're gonna do this, this, and this, but like yet they don't really have the Black workers there. What do y'all think about that? Do you think? I guess my question is, do you think people are gonna see through that, or do you think it's just gonna be a moment in time and we just move on and forget?
Yo, absolutely. I think it's just a matter of like, motherfuckers is pissing on you and they tell you that it's raining. It's bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. It's like, I have to do something before people start, like, just digging into ourselves into a deeper hole. So,
right. You're right, man. I mean, it's like, you got the NFL put up the black square, which was started by some ladies in the music industry, which is weird because the music industry is set up in a way that there's the masters of any such said recording, and anything that's a duplicate of that master is literally called a slave. Right. So, we're talking about like,
you hella woke.
Dude, that's just called Googling shit. I ain't necessarily me being woke. It's just like, I study industries, right? That's what we do as the ad bros. We study all types of shit that you're gonna actually try to help sell. So if you think about like the music industry or any industry, it's one thing to say you're going to be in solidarity, but it's holding the ballgame and say you're going to share the wealth or share the resources of such said industry, right? So it goes back to this idea that discrimination, racism, sexism, xenophobia, all that shit is about economics. It boils back to it. right? It's about like a small group of people who are typically white men. They're in control of the whole thing and they don't want to share that control, right?
Right.
So unless we're talking about sharing your privilege, because we all have some privilege. As three brothers on this podcast, we have a certain set of privilege that a lot of women won't have, right? Or whatever. But it's also privileges that we don't have because we're black men. But everybody has their privilege. But some people are a lot more privileged than others. So in the case of these brands, they have the privilege of getting tax credits. They have the privilege of getting like workers, employee rights, because certain states are like work for hire. They have the privilege of more or less taking money and not necessarily have to redistribute that wealth. So everything from the NFL to these brands to these ad agencies, unless they're really willing to like share whatever privilege that they may have, then putting up a square or saying what you're going to do, it means nothing. Because again, it doesn't affect policy and it doesn't affect the long-term economics of whatever that their industry is. We know from advertising, the shit that we do, and even in technology, most people that either poor or of color don't even know about these industries, right? So how can we actually start sharing the wealth of any industry that you don't even know even exists? And when it comes to the brands, I mean, Rose said it. At the end of the day, capitalism has no moral code. So unless they're truly going to share like in what they're making, then put up a square or taking a knee, put on kente cloth. None of that means nothing.
Yeah. Yo, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And the thing is, and the thing about it is like, people are smart, man. Like we're all smart. Like if something is not sincere, like everyone knows when some shit is not sincere, bro. I've deleted my Instagram app just because, like the same conversation, bro. I couldn't everybody, like, I got all kind of people on my Instagram and the shit just became too much for me. I was like, nah, bro, I gotta delete this shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of noise.
Man. It's a lot of noise and I'm just trying to cut through that shit. I'm trying to cut through the clutter, and the best way to do it is just not to be a part of that conversation.
Nah, I hear you on that.
Yeah, I just think at some point, bro, I don't know, like, policies just gotta change. And I guess for me, I don't expect a brand to do nothing right. But if they want to do something right, then I think they need to figure out how do they share their privilege, whatever their privilege may be, right? In the case of Nike, hey, they got the privilege of using our culture to sell sneakers, rubber, right? Rubber and leather. That's essentially what sneakers are. It's either rubber, foam, or leather, right? So if they're not willing to help financially or train people on the art of making sneakers, or even showing them how a supply chain works when it comes down to like their apparel, then what are we talking about, right? Because they can just throw up like some Black History Month sneakers like they do every year. You all go out and buy it and everything's cool, right? So I like what Brand Jordan's doing. Finally, he's donating $100 million over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great. Now, is there a way to track that, right? Is there a blockchain approach to that? Can we track what their money is doing? And maybe not so much as us, right? The people who really need that money, are they able to track where all this money is going, Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then the last thing I'll say, like you mentioned a really good point about privilege, but I think even before that, them sharing the privilege, I think a lot of them have to acknowledge and confess that they actually have a privilege. Because I don't think a lot of them really take that approach, and it's almost like what is privilege, right? And privilege is like, yeah, you might not be racist, but you benefit from racism. So you have to understand why people feel the way that they feel. You didn't do anything, but maybe your grandmother, your grandfather, somebody stole some shit from somebody or stole somebody, you know what I'm saying? And they were able to benefit off that, and you're able to go back home whenever you're ready to leave New York City, or you know what I'm saying, and have a beautiful house or a better situation because they stole some shit from someone else. And that's what the noise is about.
Or even redlining, or just like your grandmother was able to get a loan and mine wasn't.
Yeah. Just that simple.
So yo, real quick, I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but I mean, you don't gotta say if you are doing it, but how do we maneuver in this corporate world with all of this protesting going on? I guess the question is, do you speak up about your thoughts and in the office or in your Zoom, or do you keep it to yourself? Do you protest? Do you tell people like, hey, I'm out in these streets, blah blah blah, we fighting? Like, what's the way to maneuver in this climate?
Yeah,
I know for me, man, I've just been doing what I've been doing before the protests, right? I've been putting out artwork about all these individuals killed by police brutality. I will say recently I did participate in a design thinking workshop with the Black Executive Committee at my job. And, you know, their whole goal is to take what they're, I guess, been doing and try to like plus it up and really accelerate their offerings or what their list of demands are. One of those demands is actually helping, I guess, Black vendors understand the procurement process. Because a lot of times we may have the talent, but we may not have the knowledge or the certification to actually be a vendor for certain companies, such as IBM, as an example, right? So helping, I guess, that committee rethink how they approach that and take that to their senior leadership. I feel like I've been helping out on that end. Me protesting at the job, well, everybody's working from home. So it's kind of like, I don't even know what that means because, I mean, that's what that means. Me just jumping off a Zoom call and not logging into a Zoom call? Like that does nothing, right? So I've been just trying to help change things from a policy perspective.
Gotcha.
And really trying to figure out like, how does this company I work for allocate their resources and money to these communities that would definitely benefit. I also threw out one other thing too. Like the biggest issue that we're dealing with too, besides all the societal shit, is voter depression, right? Voter suppression. Shit, man. Big Blue has this thing called blockchain. Why is it that we can like help these companies figure out how to authenticate people either through Touch ID, login information, to do banking on a phone? And it fully works for any kind of bank. You can purchase shit anywhere all over the world with your bank account, right? If we can do that, then I feel like we can also help, reinvent the voting system. Because right now, the voting system across the board sucks. So how is it that we live in 2020 and we don't have a digital means of voting and making it transparent? It can be done. Somebody just don't want to do it, right? Because the politics of it all. So I propose that. I'm like, we have invent the Social Security systems, and we help with the New Deal and all that shit. Supposedly put a guy on the moon. Supposedly, if you want to get conspiracy theorists, right? But you mean to tell me we can't figure out how to do voting in 2020 via your phone? Like, nah, that's unexcusable, man. That's inexcusable. So yeah, that's why I've been pushing like those type of things.
Yeah. I think for myself, like I kind of mentioned earlier, just establishing a collective of people that are like-minded and really understand like what's really going on. Yeah. Put together a list of things that you want, whether the agency or whatever group you're part of, to act like some action items together that they would have to speak to and they have to address it. And then just from there, you'll continue to push and just seeing like, okay, maybe 30 days, like I need a response. Like just, put together like a timeline.
Yeah.
30, 60, 90. Okay, like what is the progression? We put these items together. You say you want to hear us out. We're talking. Okay, now it's on you. We've already expressed to you what we want to do. Let's do a 30, 60, 90 and see where we net out. So I've been doing I've been a part of stuff like that.
Nice. So, all right, I think that, and if we get cut off, I'll send a new Zoom link because I know we almost at 40 minutes. But is COVID-19 over for the year? Because I think, all jokes aside, I mean, people have been saying,
I don't know,
people
man.
out here, bro.
I can't trust it. I can't trust it. I don't know.
COVID is like, all right. I mean,
out here, bro.
Oh, actually, all right. So I just got the thing that will run out in 10 minutes. So I'll wrap this up and then we can do one more before AD gotta jump off. But yeah, is COVID-19 over for the year? Because they're saying like right now this isn't really a second wave. This is just like, I guess,
plateauing.
Original wave, yeah, plateauing around the country.
I'm gonna say I can't trust it and I'm gonna say that it's not over. I think that we still got some, I think that we still got some work to do on this one.
Yeah, I've been reading that, COVID-19, because it's like any other, it basically is from the same family as a lot of the flu viruses that currently are in society right now, which technically makes the flu endemic. It's always going to be around. And I just see that COVID-19 is another strain of flu. It's just going to be here, bro. They're already saying it's going to be endemic, which means that, it's going to be around just like HIV, just like the flu. It's probably just going to come back and forth, and it's probably going to get weaker over a period of time. But I guess the problem with it in the first place is just to hit the world at one time. I think if this shit was stuck in just one country, definitely Americans wouldn't give a shit. The world would definitely just wouldn't care, right? Like when what's this shit? Ebola happened over in Africa.
Oh yeah,
that shit, man, was killing people. Was bleeding through their eyes. That shit was killing people left and right. But it only happened in Africa, so nobody cared globally. So I don't know, man. I'm just not trusting it. So I'm just operating accordingly. Even whatever. I know people out here though, bro. They're out here double dutching and
crazy.
When they open up, borders, are you guys traveling? Are you guys staying put? Are you just gonna?
I'm traveling, man.
Are you just gonna be safe when you do what you do?
I just got back from Atlanta. I rode a plane, mask on, gloves. It's tricky, bro, because you can be at home and still get this shit. I guess I've heard cases of that from people we know. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm still staying away from a lot of people though.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of big groups. I don't know if y'all saw the video of actually I should send it, but someone posted on Twitter like St. Mark's, I think Friday night. And like, yo, that shit was jam packed. Mad people didn't have any masks on.
It was lit, bro.
And I'm just like, damn, like more power to y'all, but like I'm not doing that. I can't. I don't feel. I can't.
Yeah, I was just driving around like a couple of days ago, and I just saw cats grilling at the park, double dutching, nothing on. They don't give. And then look what happened recently with the uprisings. That almost but killed the idea of social distancing because everybody was out here protesting.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think COVID might be done for. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's done for now.
Done for now. All right, I like that. All right, yo. So I'm gonna send you a link, just so we could do one more. But Rose, appreciate chatting with you fellas. Rose, can you sign us off?
Absolutely. Yo, Ab Bros, another edition. As you know, no soft talk when it comes to telling the truth. One.
Peace.